When Americans are angry, they turn to guns. Every single time. We've been trying to tell you that for years, for over 20 years, because children have been unalived in their places of learning over and over and over again by hurt individuals. So it has happened to CEOs of the worst corporations in this country. It has happened to our president. Now it's happened to Charlie Kirk. Now it's happened to a political figure, which tells us something important about our culture. The internet and media have made it so the political space has expanded drastically. And in light of this, so have feelings about and surrounding politics. They've expanded, they've grown, and they've gotten serious to the point where people are so distraught and angered by their political emotions that they have resorted to pew-pewing people. And I can't act like I don't understand that. I can't act as though that feeling and that result is not expected when the talking points of these social media figures have led to a culture based around hating individuals who look like me. We are seeing a drastic resurgence of marginalization and dehumanization taking commonplace in America. In our social institutions, places that we're supposed to feel safe are now politicized in a way that hurts brown, black, and LGBTQ communities. What do you expect to happen? Charlie Kirk has been one of the biggest vessels in communicating this hatred. And now we're seeing a symptom of a deeper problem manifesting in the violence that was perpetuated against him. People are angry and afraid, and they don't like the direction that this country is going. And they don't know what to do about it. Blame the root problem. Blame the fascist culture that is taking over this country, that is making every other country look at us like we are crazy. Are you seeing it now? Are you understanding that something is wrong?
It wasn't us. I'm making it very clear. It was not us. The suspect is in custody, and it is an elderly man. This is not what I expected. This was not on my bingo card. I thought it would have been somebody younger. Hell, I even thought it would have been a woman, but it is an elderly man. Now, Gavin Newsom says the attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting, vile, and reprehensible in the United States of America. We must reject political violence in every form. I agree with you. But didn't Charlie say that, pew-pew unalivings is unfortunate, but it's worth to keep the Second Amendment? Like, these are his own words, y'all. These are not ours. These are his words. Now, the news is saying Charlie's condition is unknown. We don't know if he made it. We don't know if he's in critical condition. We don't know if he's walking and talking. None of that shit. Now, I just got one question. Where do we send this man's GoFundMe? Where do we send him bail money? How do we put money on his books? I'm not joking. I'm dead ass serious.
I'm sorry, because am I actually seeing people say that they feel bad for Charlie Kirk? I know I'm seeing a lot of people saying that, oh, you guys shouldn't be saying this shit happened. The same man who said, oh, there's a cost to liberty. When you allow gun ownership, you allow gun death. Like, tell me we're talking about the same man. Either people are talking about somebody else or they're fucking deluded. We're in a state of delusion. Like, yes, the world's fucking collapsing, but what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Hey guys, welcome back to Afrojudy. I really appreciate your massive love and support. So before I begin this episode, are you safe wherever you're watching this video from? Because from the breaking news, the MAGA activist Charlie Kirk has been pew-pewed at an event in Utah Valley University, and Donald Trump has confirmed that he has passed away. May his soul rest in peace. So in today's episode, we are going to check out how people reacted to it, both negatively and positively, and this video is for educational purposes only. I'm sorry I bumped across a video of how he was pew-pewed, and that person didn't put any trigger warning, and I happened to watch it. It kind of disturbed me, but it's well. So let's dive in straight away. You can give the video a thumbs up and also subscribe if you're coming across the channel for the very first time.
Breaking news, everybody. Charlie Kirk has been shot. I'm making this video on the fly. I just got wind of the story. There's not much details around here. So I want to make the point to say that he's been shot. We don't know if he's going to make it or not. From what I've heard, you know, I'd be surprised if he does make it, but we have to talk about this, right? Because if I'm being 10,000% honest with myself right now, I feel bad. But I feel bad for not feeling bad, right? It shouldn't come to this, right? He's an extremist. There's plenty of disagreements. There's a moral rift, right? There's a moral barrier. There's obviously a political barrier there, right? But like, it shouldn't come to just being shot out in public, right? But from what I've collected, this is the guy who said that death is a necessary evil for things like the Second Amendment to be possible. This is the guy who advocates for the political party that claims that gun violence is non-existent. It's a non-issue in America, right? I feel bad because I can't find it in myself to feel bad. You know, it's a sad story, and I do wish him well. I do hope that he pulls through. At the end of the day, he has a fucking daughter that needs a father, right? But let's not forget that this is the guy that said that if that same daughter was raped, he would make her have the baby, as if he understood the pain that would cause her. You know, I just think about the things that he would say if there had been an assassination attempt on Joe Biden, or if Kamala Harris had been shot, or I saw him when they were peeling BLM off of the pavement in D.C. and he was there with his selfie video camera smiling ear to ear and shit like that. So when it comes to police brutality and black people losing their lives at the hands of racist cops hiding behind a fucking badge, he can ignore that and say that every effort and protest and riot and rally and parade in the name of denouncing police brutality, he can say all of that is bullshit and cheer as all of these BLM initiatives are pulled back by the Trump administration. And then I, as a black man, am supposed to get on here and tell everybody to offer thoughts and prayers to him right now. The same thoughts and prayers they offer to the students who died at these multiple mass shootings, while the party that is currently in control of the federal government still tells us that gun violence is not an issue. I don't have that in me. It bothers me that I live in a reality where I can't find it in me. You know what I'm saying? To feel bad about what happened to it, because the gun violence shouldn't be happening. He was just in South Korea talking about how safe it was over there and how you couldn't go outside and read a book in America because it's so unsafe and everything like that. But then he'll come back and advocate for the Second Amendment of right and just act like gun violence isn't a fucking thing, right? And then he gets shot, you know? And here's the important part. Pay attention to this part. This is the part I need you to pay attention to, right? This is scary, right? We just had that random senseless violence in North Carolina with the girl from Ukraine who got stabbed, right? Now Charlie Kirk has been shot, right? Donald Trump is doing this false pretense of crime being all throughout D.C. And so he brought in the National Guard and he's planning to send it to other cities throughout the country, right? He's already said that, oh, Democrats are pro-crime now because we were speaking out against what he's doing in D.C., right? And how Chicago's standing up to him and shit like that, right? So he says, oh, the Democrats are pro-crime now. And then one of his biggest supporters, one of his biggest advocators just got shot, and he might not be with us. You know what I'm saying? I have already seen the tweets and the comments that say, oh, the Democrats and the left are going to the extremes. This is the party of violence. They are going to use this to their advantage. They might even go as far as using this in the same way that when Hamas attacked Israel, they've ridden that wave to implement an entire genocide, right? They are going to use this and mold this into the story of the Democrats on the left are so extreme and so pro-violence and pro-crime that they're taking out people they disagree with politically. Keep in mind, what was the Republican response when those Democratic lawmakers got assassinated by that person pretending to be a police officer? What was their reaction when people on the other side of the aisle were shot? I can't find it in me to feel bad when I think about the rhetoric that would come from Charlie Kirk and MAGA and the Trump administration and his cabinet and his team if somebody else were to get shot. After we've seen Donald Trump say, oh, well, we just need to move on. You ignore gun violence over and 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 over again. And then when one of those bullets hits you or one of those bullets hits one of your supporters, now the country is supposed to come together in thoughts and prayers? We don't know if he's going to make it or not. We know those students are dead. We know those parents lost a fucking kid. That's set in fucking stone. So yeah, I want him to live. And I hope that if he does live, he can take a look around and be a little different going forward, right? So when I ask myself, like, what's my reaction? I feel bad for not feeling bad. I can't watch all the things Charlie Kirk has said and done when he says bullshit like, oh, well, if you're having intercourse with the girl and it's all consensual and then halfway through she says stop or she says no, you know, that's a bit of a gray area. It's hard to feel sorry for people that say shit like that. Do I need to spend the next 5 minutes going over the receipts of his alludes to racism? Like, when they killed Hitler, did people mourn, you know? It's a certain level. When Hulk Hogan died, did people mourn? Or were they like, fuck him because he's a raging racist that advocated for Trump? No. When Hulk Hogan died, was it not fuck him for being a racist and advocating for Trump? So if Charlie Kirk is on the other side, it's difficult for me to find sympathy and empathy and pain inside me, considering the things he's advocated and the things he's turned a blind eye to and things like that. You don't get to spend your life on earth advocating for and laughing at the suffering of other people on top of ignoring real life issues that they deal with. But then when peril and tragedy comes your way, you're looking at the world for a hug. And I don't know how to honor that request. I'm sorry. I hope he pulls through. I hate that we live in a country where guns are this accessible and gun violence is this rampant, but you know, he said a lot. He's said a lot and he's done a lot. Okay?
Well, guys, welcome back. Before you say something, always mind whatever is coming out your tongue, because you never know this thing you are saying today will affect you tomorrow. You all know who Charlie Kirk is. I've been watching him. I've been watching the podcast of how he's addressing the people. I've been watching how he doesn't respect the human, especially the women rights. And also, he was kinda encouraging the pew violence until it landed on him, and right now he is normal. So the pew violence in the United States is so rampant right now. The school pew violence is getting out of hand, because the same time Charlie Kirk was being pewed at an event, there was also a pew going on at a certain school in the United States, and it's something which has not started right now. It's something which is getting out of hand. And if the president of the United States cannot take action right now, then so many lives will be lost. And again, may his soul rest in peace, because he's a father, he's having kids, he's having a wife, and I don't know how the family are going to start when they hear the news that their dad, or when the woman hear the news that the husband has passed away. You know that your husband went for an event, then for a moment you only get a breaking news that he is no more. You don't know where you are going to start from. Then the MAGA people, they said that we pray for Charlie Kirk because he was in a critical condition. But from the video I watched, when he was being pupilled, that man, I think he died on the spot because the pool of blood that I saw there, it kind of disturbed me because from the introduction of the video, I told you guys that I just bumped across that video. I didn't know that it was the exact video where he was being pupilled. The person didn't put any trigger warning. So all the time I'm just seeing that video on my eyes, how it was happening. And the last words that he uttered, I don't know, it's the only thing that triggered that alleged pupiller to pupill him. And also, the person who pupilled him is a palm-colored person. Thank God it's not someone who look like me, because right now I know the things that could have been happening in the United States right now. I know how the person could have been handled. And also, that person is an old man. To me, he was so tired of how Charlie Kirk couldn't handle his emotions, because if you are watching the podcast, how he was addressing some of the issues, he's someone who couldn't handle his emotions so well. It reached a point that I stopped watching his the podcast because I was so disturbed by how emotional he was and how he couldn't be able to control his very own emotions. There is a lady, I watched her video. She's a palm colored woman. She said that the person who pupilled Charlie Kirk was a liberal man. So I don't know how true that information is, or they just want to bring some issues to the liberals to be seen as bad people. I still don't know if the man was a liberal or a conservative. Whatever I know, and I saw him being arrested by the police, he was a palm-colored man. He was an old man, and he was in that event. Immediately after Charlie Kirk was pupilled, I saw people running away because they were scared. They didn't know that the pupiller was with them. And also, the person who was asking Charlie Kirk the questions about the gang violence, and the exact answer that he gave, immediately he gave that answer, I just had pop, and that's how his life ended. Life is too short. Like, you can be waking up today and you don't know whether your day will end good or not. Even yesterday in my country, I saw the news that there was a man, he was from work, he was being followed by motorists, and the pupiller was on the motorist. To me, it was something which was planned so well, and they knew where this person was headed to. That person was a government official. So to me, it's all about politics, and politics is going to ruin people's lives. If this issue of pew violence is even in African countries right now, where is the world headed to? It's upon our leaders to stop it, because personally I'm so scared of the pew violence. Even right now, I'm just hearing about the World War III is coming. Guys, I'm so scared. When it comes to pew, I don't know where I can head to, because in all my life, even seeing the pew itself, it really disturbs me a lot. So if you're in the United States, just take good care of yourself, because you never know if tomorrow it's you, if tomorrow it's your family. Just make sure that you are safe wherever you are. Make sure that your family is safe wherever they are, because it's getting out of hand in the United States and it's scaring the hell out of me. And let me just say, it's getting out of hand in the whole world right now. In my country, pews are illegal. Ownership of pew is illegal. So I was even wondering, who was that person on the motorbike who pewed that government official yesterday? Then today, from nowhere, I heard that Charlie Kirk is no more. Oh my God. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about the passing of Charlie Kirk in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate your massive love and support. Until next time, take good care of yourself and please stay safe.